In April 2025, Duolingo announced that they are shifting to an AI-first company. They will use AI tools to replace contractors, and they will integrate AI into their hiring process, performance reviews, and content creation. And here's the thing, Duolingo is not the first and definitely not the last company to go AI first. We are living in this AI revolution. This is happening and will continue to shape the world whether we like it or not. Here's the bright side. Every revolution brings its own opportunity. The Industrial Revolution replaced hard labor with machines, so we could produce products faster and cheaper. The Digital Revolution brought businesses online so everything could reach everyone. But this time, something's different. With artificial intelligence, computers can not only do what we set them to do, but also think and produce based on their own reasoning. Okay, not to the point where they have consciousness or something, but they simulate human thinking good enough that it seems like they can create something original. And here's a surprising trend. Every time we invent a revolutionary technology, we significantly underestimate its impact. When the light bulb was invented, a British parliamentary committee said that it was unworthy of the attention of practical or scientific men. When cars were invented, it was said that there would never be more than a few thousand cars because of the lack of drivers. Well, over 1.4 billion cars exist today. When planes were invented, the New York Times wrote, "Flying machines heavier than air are impossible." Huh? And when mobile phones came out, McKinsey told AT&T that the total US market would be about 900,000 devices by 2000. The real number was over 100 million. These aren't just mistakes. They are proof that we consistently underestimate how much and how fast a new technology will reshape the world. And I think it's going to be the same for AI. That is why, even if ChatGPT made the Ghibli version of yourself look like a completely different person, or it starts every email with, "I hope this email finds you well," we just simply cannot afford to underestimate the power and impact of AI in this upcoming decade. So, the billion-dollar question is, how can we designers really benefit from this revolution? Hey, I'm Aliana. If you like design, tech, and business, you are looking at the right channel. Subscribe and turn on all notifications so you don't miss out. I will share 8 things that designers can do to benefit from this AI revolution. And by the end, I will also share my most important lesson that shaped my career in the past 2 years. Make sure to stick to the end. Number 1 is use AI for writing. This is pretty obvious. And this is really helpful, especially if you are using your second language in the workplace. I use ChatGPT all the time to correct my grammar, for emails, documentations, and all kinds of communication work, even for this YouTube script. Yeah, there's a script here. And something I really like doing is that instead of typing, I like to talk to ChatGPT. I talk to it about what I want to write, the length, the tone, and even if I want to add emojis. And then ChatGPT is really good at understanding natural speaking language, even if I use so many filler words like and and ahs. It really understands me 100 times better than Siri. And ChatGPT will provide a pretty good first draft, and I will work from there. I talk to ChatGPT instead of type because typing can cause a lot of physical damage to your arm and hands, so it's a health thing. Also, you can practice speaking clearly about what you need and talk like a boss. Those are extremely important and helpful, and I will elaborate on that later. Number 2 is try Figma AI. AI tools are already built into Figma right now. You can find them under the star icon here in the toolbar. One feature I really like is that if you have a repeating block like this set up using auto layout and you want to add more cards to it, you can hover over it and a sausage-shaped icon will appear at the bottom right of the frame. Of course, Figma doesn't call it sausage, it calls it duplicate with new content. I prefer sausage. Now try holding and dragging it. And ta-da! It will use your content layout but with new content. This is a lifesaver. And there are many more AI tools out there like removing background, writing content. Try those out after you finish the video. And yes, click the star icon. Number 3 is use AI for selecting personal design projects. This is especially helpful if you are someone trying to break into product design from another field. It is really important to show that you have business sense in your project. So you can use ChatGPT to estimate the market size of your idea, do a competitive analysis, write a one-pager for the project, and so much more. I think that is 10 times better than using a design challenge generator to design an onboarding tool for a writer and try early modern styling. What is that? Number 4 is use AI as your feedback buddy. Every time I have an idea, if I don't have a friend or a coworker beside me, I used to just iterate again and again in my mind. But that leads to sticking with my own bias. Now, when I have an idea, and if I don't have friends around me, I just ask ChatGPT for feedback. I use it as my feedback buddy and it's really helpful. And of course, I still prefer asking a real designer, but comparing asking ChatGPT to asking nobody, asking ChatGPT is significantly better. And usually I just describe my idea or I will just take some screenshots and then ask for feedback. Number 5 is use AI for research. One thing I like is that ChatGPT has a deep search mode these days. When you turn this on, it can do in-depth research for you and then show you the sources. I also like asking it to summarize the research in a table because I love tables. By the way, my friend, no matter how you use AI, it is really important to write a good prompt and ask the right question. So spend more time with people to fully understand the context of your work and the goal of your project so that you can design something great and use AI to make it even better. Another no-brainer way to benefit from this AI revolution is to work for an AI product. By doing that, you can put AI on your resume, meet people in the field, and gain the knowledge and experience to work on more AI projects. This doesn't have to be a new job, it can be a side project or something you start by yourself. And if you feel like you don't know much about AI yet, you can always take a course. I'm actually taking the Coursera AI certificates and I will make a review video on that soon. Stay tuned, turn on notifications. The next 2 points are very related. I honestly think that most designers are faced with 2 options when it comes to winning or benefiting from the AI revolution. Become a super designer or become a super individual. Let me start with the first one. When I say a super designer, I mean a senior designer or a design lead, basically a designer who designs really well and design better than AI. I don't think companies will hire many junior designers in the future because AI can probably do better work than junior designers soon. So if you want to work in tech, you either work for a large company that can afford experts or a post-AI stage startup, which I will explain in a bit. Big companies will always need super designers or senior designers, design leads, because there's so much communication, collaboration, business understanding, and polishing the work of other people, climbing the corporate ladder, all those things that you need to do. These jobs also pay pretty well. In the United States, it's usually over 100K USD a year. I mean, there are some companies that pays a lot. Netflix can pay 400K USD a year for a great product designer. So Netflix, if you need a super designer, let me know. I'll consider. I created this term super designer because I think it describes what we need to do much better than the existing job titles out there. So you need to be pretty good at design and also super good at bringing an idea to life in a corporate tech environment. And when I say super good, I mean better than any AI tool out there. And as a super designer in big tech, you get to work with an established company with great reputation and free food, amazing offices around the world with the most brilliant mind out there and have stable income. You also make great impact because those companies already have billions of users. But like I said, you need to be super good at designing and super good at bringing an idea to life in a corporate tech company. And if you want to learn how to do that, I just happen to do this full time. I also predict there will be a huge need for designers at post-AI stage startups. This is a term I've made up as well. I should trademark it. The idea is that there's going to be lots of SaaS, software as a service businesses that will start from one person using many AI agents. Not all will become successful for sure, but the ones that grow will eventually hit a point where hiring real expert is going to be more effective than using AI alone. And that is the point where these companies will hire super designers to build on top of what their AI has done. This has already happened to me, by the way, and there will be many of these companies. You might ask, how many apps and B2B SaaS products are left to be built? Isn't the market already so saturated? Honestly, I feel you, but just look at how many physical products exist today. You know how in product design, we need to clearly define a problem before finding a solution? But there are also so many times that companies will just create a need out of nothing and make you want it. It happens so much in the physical product space, and I think the same will happen in the digital product space. Do we need more apps and digital product? Probably no. We might not need more apps, but some will be so perfectly marketed toward us that make us want them. And the crazier thing is that the digital economy has no physical limit, so products can spread even faster, and with AI, it will go even wilder. So if you want to become a super designer, it is so important to polish your skill set and continue to learn. Adapt to a growth mind. We just never know what will come next. If you want to know what you need to do to become a super designer, drop a song emoji in the comments. If we get over 100 songs, I will consider making a video on it. And by the way, my Career Accelerator Fast Track UX teaches you all the super designer skills. Check it out. Other than becoming a super designer, you can also become a super individual. A super individual uses AI as a force multiplier to build businesses, products, and personal brand. At its core, AI is a leverage tool. You give it a simple input, and it creates something much bigger. You can think about text, music, video apps, you name it. It creates them. Historically, you needed money and power to build a team full of workers and experts, but now you have AI at your service 24/7, and you don't even need to be in a big city. Starting something looks very different now and is so much easier than before. You don't need investment or engineers. You can just have an idea and then use a no-code tool to build the product for you and then sell it through organic social media marketing. Super individuals will seize this opportunity and do this over and over again until they found a product market fit, and eventually sell the company and start again, serial entrepreneurs. And super individuals will not only create great products, but also build a strong social media following. Here's the hard truth. A great product with no buyers still equals zero. Most designers I've met, they're amazing at building products, and almost every designer has a side project. But I rarely see those side projects take off. And a lot of time it's because there's too much building, but too little selling. Social media is how we spend most of our free time today, and that is how we sell in today's economy. Just go and count how many TikToks Alex Warren created before releasing his song Ordinary. If you are releasing something you built before making that number of TikToks, it's probably not going to work, no matter how amazing your product is. AI can write copy, help with editing, and it can help you plan and build a strategy for social media marketing, and super individuals take advantage of that and use it to speak louder on social media. So, if you're a generalist, you don't mind showing up online, and you don't procrastinate when turning ideas into reality. You're a risk taker, you like owning and building your own product, and you don't mind having unstable income for a while because you want to win big in the long run, then becoming a super individual could be a great option for you. Comment a star emoji if you want to become a super individual, and if we get over 100 stars, I will consider making a video specifically for that. My guess is that we'll have more suns than stars, but who knows? Let's see. The next lesson is a really confusing and also just a really interesting lesson. There will be a day when your current job title no longer empowers you but actually limits you, and you need to not let that limit you in order to benefit from the AI revolution. Alright, let me try to make it make sense. For me, I've always been a designer, and I will always be a designer. But for the past 2 years, I've been building my business. And every day I realize I need to be so much more than a designer to build a business. The designer identity still helps, but I need to be more and not let the designer identity limit myself. If you want to become a super individual, then this moment will come really fast. Because if you can't embrace the new identities of being entrepreneur, sales, marketing, operation, engineering, and all that stuff, then it'll be very hard to get to where you want. And I was so used to sticking to one title, one thing, and build a whole career around that one title. But now with AI, it looks like we can be many things at once. And I'm not that used to it, but I'm trying to get used to it. So part of me is like, haven't we always been more than just one job title? And now we are just finally empowered to do more with limited time. But the other part of me is like, how do I grow a career with multiple identities? I'm a product design lead for 1 hour, and then a CEO for the next hour, and then a marketing intern the next hour, and then a cleaning lady the next hour. How does this work? So if you want to become a super individual, let me just tell you this, it's going to be fun, confusing, rewarding all at once. There's no corporate ladder anymore. There's just you. The mountain is you. The floor is you. The ceiling is you. Good luck. And if you want to be a super designer, then this identity crisis may come later, but there will still be a point where the designer identity might actually limit you and you need to let go of it or break out from it. Because the higher you rise, the more you will feel like a manager, a leader, a stakeholder, and you will spend more time in Google Docs than Figma. And you might throw up because for all these years you've been dealing with ridiculous clients and leadership, and now you're one of them. So it's going to be disgusting and amazing at the same time. And if you're feeling that right now, I don't think you did anything wrong. That is what growth feels like. You're reinventing yourself. And in the AI revolution, career growth is going to hit harder than before because AI brings more opportunity, more uncertainty, and more competition. Whatever we use AI to do, it will amplify. If we use it for one thing, it amplifies that one thing. If we use it for 5 things, then it amplifies all 5 things. So we'll choose to apply to more jobs, start more side projects, create more content. And I fully support that because it benefits us. But this kind of fast-paced tech evolution, followed by fast FOMO actions, will also lead to burnout. There have been days where I just can't do much stuff. Not because I'm lazy. Okay, maybe I'm lazy. But there are so many news I need to catch up with. There are so many things I can do, and I don't know how to prioritize. And there are so many AI news and I can't catch up, and all that stuff. And then I get stressed out and anxious, so I scroll on social media, which makes me more stressed out and more anxious. And then the cycle repeats. If you're also going through this, I am with you. I am not that productive. I don't have an answer. But in uncertain moments like this, I try to remind myself to be more human, more connected, and more kind, and unapologetically myself. You see, AI might get amazing at designing, coding, writing, and content creation. Everything we do for money right now. But there's one thing AI can never do better than us, and if you keep doing that, you will win AI every single time, and that is being you. When you face a ridiculous client, but you use patience and empathy, people remember how you make them feel. When you lighten a tense meeting with a joke, people remember how you made them feel. When you post a video on a hard topic like this one, but left the audience feeling inspired and calm, people remember how you made them feel. And when someone has an amazing opportunity, they will come find you because they remember how you made them feel and now they want to work with you. It's funny and pathetic that most of us are trained to tie our self-worth to what we can produce. We live in a time where people have all the skill sets to build amazing products, but don't know how to take care of ourselves. Okay, that's me. And now we've invented a technology that produces faster and better than us, and now we panic because we think we're being replaced. Nah. Labor can be replaced by AI. Production can be automated by AI. But identity cannot be replaced by AI. Never. You are still you and me. And you have the choice. You can let AI be your assistant or let AI be your enemy. Please choose the prior one. If you subscribe to my newsletter and ever read any of my newsletter, you know it's called Trillions Cafe. Because I really believe that we're all worth $1 trillion. And I hope you realize that just like how your boss sets your deadline, ASAP. So I'm really curious. Drop a sun emoji if you're on Team Super Designer, and drop a star emoji if you're on Team Super Individual. That will help me tailor my content better to you at this very interesting time in human history. Alright, I'm Aliana. Turn on notifications if you liked today's video. If you like this video, you'll probably also like this one, so I will see you in this one. And I will end today's video with this beautiful sunset I saw from literally here, my Toronto apartment. And by the way, I'm moving country again very soon, but I will catch you up on that later.